Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.
We want to tell you about Bamboo Music. Our family loves music. I play the piano and I've even taught Olivia how to play a few songs. You wouldn't believe the first song she wanted to learn.
My daddy taught me how to play Hey Jude by the Beatles.
Olivia loves listening to music and she loves learning about music. If you love music as much as we do, you're going to love Bamboo Music. Bamboo Music will teach you about different instruments, as well as notes, scales, chords, and so much more. It's also a great resource if you are learning how to play an instrument.
It helps me learn how to play the piano.
And while you're learning, you earn badges and advance to harder material. It's so much fun. Learn more about music now by sneaking up on your Alexa device and saying,
Alexa, open Bamboo Music.
It's that simple. Who knows? In a couple of days, you might earn your badge as a melody master. It's now time to get curious. Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to the Curious Kid Podcast. We are so excited for this week's podcast because we have an awesome guest who will join us to answer a few questions. We are also really excited because this is a listener suggestion episode. In fact, this amazing listener sent us an email a year ago to let us know what he was curious about. Mailbag! We received this email all the way back on May 25th of 2019. It says, "Hi Curious Kid Team, we have really been enjoying your podcast on the drive to preschool in the morning. My son Stowe has so many questions about snakes and wanted to suggest snakes as a new topic. His questions include, do snakes have teeth to eat, aside from fangs? What do snakes eat? How many times a day do snakes eat? Do snakes come out in the rain? Do snakes climb? Would a snake come in the house? Do snakes bite? And do snakes like flowers? Thank you both for making our morning drive so educational and entertaining. Mallory and her 5-year-old son of North Bend, Washington."
Thanks so much for the email. We are getting curious about snakes for Stowe.
And thank you for being fans of the podcast for so long. We got this email so long ago, Stowe is probably 6 years old today. Snakes are awesome, but there is someone in our family that doesn't really like snakes much at all.
My mommy can't stand snakes. They scare her and she thinks they are yucky.
Lots of people are scared of snakes. It doesn't mean that they aren't really interesting and fun to learn about. What's the question of the week?
The question of the week is, what is the only thing that scares more people than snakes?
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.
This podcast is sponsored by Skylight Calendar. Let's be real. Running a household can be exhausting and chaotic. And finding the perfect Mother's Day gift, it's not exactly a no-brainer. Until now. The Skylight Calendar is the best way to organize the family and give everyone, especially mom, some peace of mind to enjoy the things that matter most. The Skylight Calendar is a smart, touchscreen calendar that keeps track of and manages the chores, dinner planning, groceries, and to-dos for the whole family. The Skylight Calendar automatically syncs each family member's digital calendars and displays them all together on one color-coded touchscreen. It even doubles as a digital picture frame, so you can finally share all those special moments that are just sitting on your phone. As a limited-time offer for our listeners, get 15% off your purchase of a Skylight Calendar when you go to skylightcal.com/easy. That's SKYLIGHTCAL.com/easy. Get 15% off your Mother's Day purchase now at skylightcal.com/easy.
Can you believe that the fear of snakes is the second most common fear in the world? Can you guess what the most common fear is? While you are thinking about the answer, let's start learning.
Snakes are carnivores, which means they eat meat.
Most snakes eat small animals like birds, frogs, insects, lizards, and mice.
There are also really big snakes that eat even bigger animals.
That's true. The biggest snakes, for example anacondas and pythons, are able to eat animals as big as pigs. Pythons can be found in Africa, Asia, and Australia. Anacondas are only found in parts of South America.
Snakes eat their food by swallowing it whole.
That's because they can't chew. Some snakes have teeth, but those teeth are not used for chewing. They are used for keeping their food from crawling back out. And snakes have flexible jaws, which allow them to eat meals larger than their head. The snakes that have teeth usually have 4 rows on the top and 2 rows on the bottom.
Ew, that's disgusting. Do all snakes have fangs?
Not all snakes, but the ones that have fangs are poisonous. We are going to learn more about snake teeth and fangs in just a few minutes with our special guest.
Snakes have a slow metabolism.
I think what Olivia is trying to say is that snakes have a slow metabolism. And you may be wondering what that means. A slow metabolism means that snakes digest their food very slowly. Snakes can sometimes go months without eating a meal because their metabolism is so slow.
Do snakes sleep?
They do, although you may have trouble figuring out if a snake is sleeping or not.
That's because snakes don't have eyelids.
That means that instead of closing their eyes when they sleep, like us humans, they turn their brains off and sleep with their eyes wide open. Have you ever wondered if snakes can hear? After all, you've never seen a snake with ears.
Snakes are able to hear because they have ears on the inside.
Let's clarify. Snakes don't have anything that looks like human ears. They actually have something inside their heads that lets them hear by sensing the vibrations around them.
Are snakes able to smell?
They are, but again, the way snakes smell is very different than how humans smell.
That's because snakes smell with their tongues.
That's so strange. Snake skin is also very unique.
Snake's skin is smooth and dry.
That's true, but that's not the only part that's very unique. Snakes shed their skin between 3 and 6 times every year. It usually takes them a few days to shed all their skin.
Snakes are also cold-blooded like other reptiles.
So, humans are warm-blooded animals. That means that our temperature inside should stay the same no matter how warm or cold our surroundings are. That's the reason you know that you're sick when your temperature is too high or too low. Snakes, on the other hand, are cold-blooded. That means that their body temperature goes down when it's cold outside and goes up when it's warm. That means that snakes that live in places where it gets cold in the winter have to hibernate to survive. Okay, before we bring on our very special guest, let's answer some of the questions that Stowe had for us that we haven't already answered.
He wanted to know if snakes come out in the rain.
They do, and there's a good reason for that. Snakes like chasing after small animals for food, and those small animals, like frogs, are usually out just after a storm. This means that snakes are more active during and just after a rainstorm.
And do snakes climb walls?
So, the answer to this one is not so easy. Snakes are able to climb, but they can't grip a wall the same way that a lizard can.
But snakes are able to climb a rough wall, like a brick wall or a stone wall.
That's true. Not only that, but snakes are able to climb trees for the same reason, because trees are not smooth.
Can snakes get into your house?
The short answer is yes. They can get into your house, but that being said, I don't think they want to get into anyone's house. They would only end up in a house if they were searching for food, and that search led them into a house. Otherwise, they are perfectly happy outside.
Also, do snakes like flowers?
Just like people have favorite flowers, snakes do too. Their favorites are the types of flowers that usually attract the animals they like to eat. There are also flowers that snakes don't like. For example, marigolds. Snakes don't like marigolds, and that's because these flowers have a smell that lots of animals don't enjoy. That means that a snake would have a hard time finding a meal in a garden full of marigolds.
Stowe also wanted to know if snakes bite, and we have a special guest to tell us all about that.
I'm so excited for this interview. Our guest this week is Dr. Ben Abo. Dr. Ben is the director of Venom 1 and Venom 2 response teams of Miami-Dade Fire Rescue and Lake County Fire Rescue in the beautiful state of Florida. He is an EMS physician, a paramedic, and a premier venom and wilderness expert.
Dr. Ben, thank you so much for being on Curious Kid Podcast. How did you decide to get into helping people with snake bites?
I have been in the rescue business ever since I was a teenager in high school. And anything I can do to help somebody, I do. And many years later, when I saw that a lot of people misunderstood snakes and were getting hurt doing the wrong thing, as well as they just kind of, they weren't doing the best that they could for other people. I wanted to help educate people so that they can take even better care of each other. So that's pretty much how I got into it. I was around the Miami-Dade Venom response team, which is a special team down in Miami, Florida, and they taught me a lot, and I started working with them, and I just got very into it ever since then.
Are all snake bites treated the same, or are some more serious than others?
That's a very good question. All different snakes around the world have different types of venom, and the only reason they even have venom is so that they can eat and hunt. They don't want to bite humans. We're too big. We actually scare them. But when they do bite us, because their venoms are different, the medicines we need to use for them is also different. So it's all a special type of medicine, but depending on the species or family of snakes, I choose a specific or special medicine to save people or pets. Some snakes don't have any venom at all. Some snakes have very weak venom, and some snakes have very strong venom. It's quite different all over the world, whether it's a cobra or a crate or a rattlesnake. So definitely some are more serious than others.
When someone comes to you with a snake bite, what does it usually look like? And where on the body do people usually get bit?
When somebody comes to me with a bite, almost all the time, it's either their hand, their arm, or their foot. This is usually because we're all doing things outside, and either an adult or older kid is doing something they shouldn't do, like pick up snakes or pick up things without looking, and they get bit on the hands, or the snake is just in his own backyard doing snake things, and we go down a slide or we're walking and we don't see that the snake is just there trying to hide from us. And so when we startle them by stepping too close, they bite us on our foot or ankle. They really don't want to, but if they're so scared, that's how they react. So most of the time, their hands or their feet.
How do you help someone with a snake bite if you aren't sure what kind of snake bit them?
If somebody is in the United States of America and they get bit by a snake and they're not sure what it was, it's okay because I know how to figure it out. It's pretty easy for two reasons. One, I can tell by the symptoms what's going on with their leg or their arm or their body, or they throwing up. So I can tell what it is if it's one type of snake. And then all the others, it's all one medicine. This is for in the United States. So I don't have to identify the snake. It's okay. And even if I know that you get bit by a rattlesnake, I'm going to look for those signs or symptoms to see if you even need the medicine. So it's pretty easy if you don't know what kind of snake bit you, if I get involved so I can give advice.
If someone gets bit by a snake, what are some things they could do before they are able to get medical help?
This is one of the best questions that I find so important. For one, don't get bit. Right? So if you're picking up debris, if you're in places where snakes like to hide, like under rocks, in a little rock ledge, under a log, things like that, before you step there, you need to look. Or before you pick up a pile of sticks, you really need to look and avoid getting bit. If you do get bit, just get away from the snake. He's going to probably try to run away from you as well. Stay calm and go get medical help. You need to go to the hospital. All the fancy snake kits and things that they sell at camping stores and something like that, none of those work, and actually they do more harm than good. So the best thing you can do is stay calm, see a doctor. If you can, elevate it. Otherwise, keep your hand or your foot at the level of your heart. And again, see a doctor. All the other stuff like ice or putting a tight band on or trying to suck the venom out, none of that works, actually causes more damage. So stay calm, go see a doctor. We have the medicine.
That was so interesting. Thank you for all the information.
That interview was seriously interesting. A big thanks to Dr. Ben for joining us. Before we slither away, we better answer the question of the week. What is the only thing that people are more afraid of than snakes?
People are more afraid of spiders than snakes.
That's really interesting. Well, we want to know which one you are more afraid of, spiders or snakes. We've put some polls up on social media, so place your vote to let us know if you are more afraid of spiders or snakes. Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's podcast number, episode 83 on snakes.
Great job, Olivia. It's time to reveal the next city on our list of 25 cities that listen to Curious Kid Podcast more than any other cities in the world. Olivia, tell everyone which city is the number 5 supporter of the podcast worldwide.
Westchester, Ohio. We love you.
We sure do. Thanks so much for the support. If you listen to us from Westchester, Ohio, send us an email with a photo to prove you're from Westchester. If you send us an email before our next episode comes out, we will thank you by giving you a preview of an upcoming episode before anyone else gets to hear it. One of you will even get something special in the mail from the podcast. Join us next week when we get curious about another fun and interesting topic. As always, thank you so much for listening and getting curious with us.
Questions still linger. Is Dice Tower Theater a high fantasy audio drama with a narrator, or a heroic audiobook with a full cast, sound effects, and original score? Can it be considered an actual play podcast when you never hear the fall of the dice or the conversation at the table? Listen to Dice Tower Theater on your favorite podcasting platform. And no matter what we are called, we hope you enjoy it.
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries plus napkins plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.